They laughed at her the moment she stepped into the room. Not openly, not enough to get in trouble, just the kind of laughter that slips through cracks, raised eyebrows, side glances, the quiet confidence of people who believe they're untouchable. She stood near the entrance, holding a slim folder, waiting to be acknowledged. No one did. The meeting had already started. Voices overlapped, opinions clashed, a dozen people talking like their words alone could bend reality. She scanned the room once, calmly, and took the empty chair along the wall. Someone leaned toward another and whispered, "Who invited her?" A soft chuckle followed. She kept her eyes forward. This wasn't new to her. Being underestimated had become routine. She had learned long ago that reacting too early only feeds the wrong narrative. Silence, when used correctly, was far more dangerous. The man leading the meeting, confident, loud, and clearly enjoying himself, paced in front of a large screen filled with maps and timelines. He spoke with certainty, the kind that doesn't come from preparation, but from never being challenged. "We'll proceed exactly as planned," he said. "No need to overthink it." She noticed the flaw immediately. Not a small one, a fatal one. It was the kind of oversight that doesn't show up in simulations, the kind that only reveals itself when people start getting hurt. She shifted slightly in her seat, debating whether to speak. She raised her hand. The leader stopped mid-sentence and turned, surprised. His eyes swept over her, registering her presence for the first time. "Yes?" he asked, tone flat. "There's an issue with your second phase. Your support window collapses if weather shifts by even 10 minutes. A pause, then laughter. Not cruel, not loud, confident laughter. "That's unlikely," he said. "We've accounted for contingencies." "With respect," she replied, "you've accounted for ideal conditions." He smiled, shaking his head slightly. "We've done this before." "So have I," she said. That earned a few more looks. "And where exactly did you gain that experience?" he asked, leaning back, arms crossed. She met his eyes. "In places where mistakes don't get second chances." The room grew quiet for a half second. Then someone scoffed, "Right." The leader waved a hand dismissively. "Thank you for the input. We'll stick to the plan." She lowered her hand and nodded once. "Understood." That should have been the end of it. It wasn't. 10 minutes later, the secure phone on the table vibrated. No ringtone, just a low, unmistakable hum. The leader frowned and picked it up, already irritated. This better be important. He listened. His posture changed. "Yes, sir," he said, quickly, standing straighter. "She's here." The room froze. A few people exchanged looks. "Yes, sir, I understand." He ended the call and slowly turned back toward the room. His confidence had evaporated, replaced with something closer to caution. He cleared his throat. "Before we continue, we have a change." His eyes landed on her. "She's not a guest, she's oversight." Murmurs rippled through the room. The door opened. The senior commander entered. Presence alone enough to reset the atmosphere. Everyone stood instantly. "At ease," the commander said, then looked directly at her. "Good to see you again." She stood. "Likewise, sir." The leader stared between them, confusion giving way to concern. The commander turned to the room. "She was brought in because similar plans failed before, with casualties." Silence. "She was there when they failed, and she was the reason anyone made it back." No one laughed now. The commander nodded toward the screen. "You raised concerns." "Yes, sir." "Explain." She stepped forward, taking control of the room without raising her voice. She walked through the plan, identifying weaknesses, timing gaps, environmental risks. She didn't criticize, she corrected. Every word landed clean. When she finished, the commander nodded once. "That aligns with our intelligence." He turned to the leader. "We'll revise the plan." The leader swallowed. "Yes, sir." The commander faced the room again. For clarity, he said, she's led operations in conditions most of you have only read about. Her record is the reason she doesn't need to explain herself twice. The room remained silent. After the commander left, the meeting ended quickly. No jokes, no comments. People gathered their things quietly, suddenly aware of how thin confidence can be when it isn't backed by experience. As she turned to leave, the leader approached her. "I didn't know." She paused, then looked at him. "You didn't ask." She walked out of the room the same way she'd entered, quietly, without drama. But the laughter was gone. Because her military past didn't demand attention. It delivered justice, all on its own.